Going just way back again with another video, and today I want to talk about porn and masturbation. Porn is everywhere. Porn is one of the biggest industries. I'm pretty sure most of the internet is used up just to watch porn, and that is ridiculous. It is crazy, and hopefully those stats will change. you know at the time in my life, porn was a big part of it, and so was masturbation. And I never thought that I would leave those things. Masturbation became such a big part of my life. Porn became such a big part of my life that when I was looking for girlfriends and I was talking to girls, I would actually say, like, we should watch porn together. And now I look back and it's like, why would I do that? But anyways, it became so common. It became so common for everybody to watch porn, for everybody to watch porn. It was everywhere, just being thrown in our faces. And we live in a very sexualized society. And I'm not here to say porn is bad. I'm not here to say masturbation is bad. I'm not here to say sexuality is bad. Because as far as I'm concerned, everything is good. It just depends on how it's used or whatever. But I'm just going to talk about my experiences with them and why I had to let them go in order to move forward, in order to really love myself more, in order to have more time to spend time with myself, to work on myself, to get to the point where I could be truly happy and have more self-confidence and self-worth, and also have more fun and enjoy life more. There's one thing about both porn and masturbation. I don't think there's not much good things that are said about porn. It's just porn is kind of like alcohol. Everybody does it. Everybody talks about how good it is for them, and they look like they're having fun doing it. So then you're able to get more people to drink that way. Same thing with porn. People watch porn, they tell their friends about it, everyone's talking about it, and it's like a fun thing to do. So then more and more people are doing it. And of course, porn is attractive to a lot of us because when we're looking at porn, it's almost as if we are doing the act. Even though we're not doing it ourselves, we're looking at it. It's like we are doing it. And one thing about the way we perceive things, whatever we perceive, we might as well be doing it. If you're watching somebody eat something, you can literally eat through them. That's why, when we watch movies, we feel what's going on in the movies. Even though it's not real, we're experiencing it. So there are kids here, so I don't know. This is a little PG. I might have to pause this for a little bit. This is a little R-rated, so hold on. So yes. I guess I should have picked the most secluded area to speak about this topic. So you guys are gonna let me know if anybody walks behind me, right? If you hear any kids, just let me know. Alright, just let me know. Too bad it's not a live video. But I need to do more live videos. Actually, I haven't done any yet. But yeah, so when you're looking at something, when you're watching something, you're experiencing it. That's why it's so important to really put yourself in an environment that is well suited for you, that is good for you, that is beneficial for you. Because once you put yourself in that environment, whatever's going on, you're experiencing it. Whether you are watching it, hearing it, or just around close enough to it where the energy is coming into contact with you, it's as if you're experiencing it. And I feel this in my life. I can literally, sometimes I can have somebody come next to me, and if they have a headache, I get their headache. That's how the world works. The world is all energy vibrations, and it's all being translated by our mind. All of our senses, they're all just electrical signals that are translated by our mind as sound, or as images, or as a smell, or as a taste, or as a feeling. It is all electrical. It is all electrical. It is all energy. So when you're watching something, the body is just taking all these signals, these vibrations. The body is taking all these vibrations and is translating them so that you can understand them. So in order to really understand something, you kind of have to experience it. In order to understand what somebody's saying, you kind of have to experience them saying it. So when you're watching something, it's as if you are doing it. That's why when I watch too many violent movies, I have dreams where I have some pretty violent dreams, because it's almost as if I am doing those things. So that's why I do my best to limit those things. So when we're watching porn, that's why, when you watch too much porn, you end up not enjoying life more. It literally does take a lot of enjoyment out of life, because you're taking something that should take a little bit of time to get to, that you should really be intimate with somebody and know somebody before you do it, but now you're just like watching it and doing it. So when the real thing comes, you're not gonna enjoy it as much. So it takes really joy out of that. In terms of like masturbation, the thing about that is, both men and women, like when we're ejaculating, that's life energy. That's life energy. That's sexual energy. That's the most potent energy that there is. And with that energy, you can do way better things than to just waste it by, playing with yourself all the time. Yeah, I don't think they heard that, but yeah. And the thing about it, like when I used to masturbate, and I would masturbate just to come. I wouldn't really play around too much. I would just do it just to come and get that feeling out. It would feel good, and I get tired. I take a little nap, and that's the thing. You get tired. It's because you're just wasting your life force. You're wasting your energy. You end up being drained, and it's also a way that it makes us a little bit easier to control. If we're just like literally all the time watching porn and masturbating, that makes it a little bit easier for us to be controlled, because then we don't have enough energy to go out there and live. We don't have enough energy to think for ourselves. We don't have enough energy to treat ourselves better, because we're just too tired. We're too damn tired. And then you can add on other things like smoking weed and drinking alcohol. Next thing you know, your life is your life is just passing by, and you're not doing anything good. So for me, like, I had to stop, because eventually I realized I was doing it so much that eventually I'm like, it kind of plateaued. And it has to, because the thing that happens with porn, there's levels to it. You start watching like the regular, then you go to like the lesbian, the gay, like, and you just like, there's just levels and levels and levels. There's things, and then eventually you just like, you have to watch something a little bit tougher, a little bit more raw, a little bit, taboo. You have to keep going in order to get like excited. Like the regular stuff just doesn't excite you anymore. So when you meet somebody, you can't even get it going anymore, because now you just want some extra stuff, like extra stuff. So it made like regular encounters, just regular interactions, just lame and boring. So I kind of had to get away from it for that reason, and I'm glad I did. And how did I do it? It took a little bit of time. It's this whole journey that I've been going through, especially in the last year. I think it's been over a year now, almost 2 years maybe, since I've stopped like masturbating. It took a while, and after I like got off of those, sometimes I would want to go back, and sometimes I did go back, and then I'd realize, why did I do it? It's kind of like breaking a habit, something that was a pattern in my life for years. Even though I let it go, I did find myself going back to it every now and then, but then it wasn't the same, and that was good. That showed me that I was moving forward. And one thing I definitely tell you, that religion, didn't help me. And I'm pretty sure religion doesn't help a lot of people when it comes to porn and masturbation. You can go to church all you want, and you probably still might end up watching porn or masturbating. I don't think church didn't help me to get rid of it. If anything, church made me do it more, because there was so much guilt and shame associated with it. I had to get rid of the shame. I find that getting rid of shame and guilt towards something, feeling bad about something, makes it easier to let it go. If you're feeling guilty, feeling shame, you feel like you shouldn't, like you can't do something, that something is like, if you do it, you're gonna get in trouble or something like that. If you do it, you're gonna go to hell. Those things don't deter you from doing anything, because everybody grew up with those morals that are passed on to us, to tell us, if we do this, this is going to happen. If we do this, and this is going to happen. But guess what? People are still doing the things that they're being told that if they do it, they're going to go to hell, and they're still doing it. So does that mean that people want to go to hell? No, it's just that it doesn't work that way. Like, we will do what's naturally good for us if we're in a natural environment, if we're eating good foods, if we're surrounding ourselves with good people, if we're in tune with ourselves. We don't need to be told what not to do. We will naturally not do it. That's what I've learned. So if you have a lot of guilt and a lot of shame and towards masturbation and towards porn, just get rid of it. You don't need it. There's nothing to be ashamed about. There's nothing to feel guilty about. These are just things. These are just things that are there. You just kind of have to realize see them for what they are. See them, how do they affect you? How do you feel when you're watching them? How do you feel after? Are they benefiting you? Are they helping you? That's what, you gotta look at it objectively. Is this adding to my life, or is this taking away from my life? Is this moving my life forward, or is this distracting me? Is this giving me energy, or is it taking away energy? And that's how I look. That's how I look at things. That's how I look at things now, and it makes it so much easier for me to just, to see things for what they are. I kind of have to take a no judgment route, and taking a no judgment route, I feel, just has helped me out a lot more, because now there's not a negative emotion attached to it. There's no resistance attached to it. I'm just looking at it objectively, and I've decided that it's not adding something to my life, so I don't need it. And then, of course, replace it with something better. So it's good to also know, like, the negative side effects. Like I said, like, those things, they take away time from you, they take away your energy, they take away your enjoyment of life. And there's a lot of things more that they do. They also hurt your self-confidence. My self-confidence has gone way up since I stopped doing those things. My self-confidence was shot when I was doing those things. So do it for you. Do it because you love yourself. So do the research. There's plenty of research showing you why you shouldn't watch porn and why you shouldn't, masturbate and give away your life force and waste your life force. Use that energy for something else. Use that energy to follow your passion. Use that energy to inspire others, And so that's something that also helped me out with that too. And also too, what helped is to fix my relationship with my sexuality, to not see sexuality as a bad thing, to be able to express my sexuality, to not be ashamed of my sexuality. If I like something, I like something. I don't, I think a lot of us, when we have shame towards our sexuality, that can also, then we tend to repress. We kind of oppress ourselves. We're like, okay, I'm ashamed, my sexuality is bad. I like this, society says it's bad, so because of that, I don't like myself. You see how that goes? So you kind of have to just not be ashamed. If you like something, you like it, but don't be ashamed about it, because if you're ashamed about it, if you're throwing negative emotions towards yourself, you end up kind of hating yourself and you're putting yourself down. So unleash yourself, have no shame, and just be you. Do what's right for you. As long as you're not hurting anybody else, and as long as it's not hurting you, you are good. As long as you're not letting your sexuality take over your whole life, sex is one part of the thing. It's not the whole thing. As long as your sexuality is not taking over your whole life, you're good. Express your sexuality. Be you. Be in tune with yourself. Don't let society tell you that, that you should be ashamed, that you should be guilty for something that you're feeling, all right? Take the time aside and, maybe go out to nature, go meditate and really get in tune. And maybe you might like something, and guess what? You might relax and go within and figure out that you actually feel a different way, and maybe you're feeling something because somebody else said something. So really go, spend enough time alone to figure out what it is that you really want, what it is that you really care for, what it is that you need, and then focus on that. But take away the guilt and take away the shame. The guilt and the shame will create resistance, and resistance only makes stronger. And you need to just let it go. That's a theme of life right now, is to let it go. Let those old belief systems go. Let those old beliefs go. Let go of the shame. Let go of the guilt. Become lighter and start to fly. Let go of these labels and be you. And that's one reason why you should let go of these things. I recommend that I had to let go just so I could be myself more. Now I'm at a point in my life where, even if somebody was to come here and show me porn, like, I wouldn't want to masturbate. And if I see a beautiful naked woman walking around, I don't think oh my gosh, she's so hot. And I start jacking off. That's not how it goes. I've seen some people do that. I'm just like, okay, that's just a woman. That's just a body. It's a human body. I'm not gonna. But people do that with people when people have their clothes on too. So I'm happy that I got to this point. I'm happy that sex and porn and sexuality, I'm happy that those things are no longer controlling my life, because there was a time when my body, I was working out and going to the gym and getting ripped and all that, and I literally convinced myself that my body was made for sex, and that's all that I focused on. I got a great body so that I could attract girls and I could have sex with a bunch of girls. That's what I was focused on at the time, and I'm so glad that I can focus on better things now, that I can focus on myself, that I love myself. Like sometimes I'm so happy, like I look at myself in the mirror, I'm just like thinking, I'm being grateful. I just get so happy about who I've become and the way that I see myself and the way that I feel about myself, and also the way I feel about others and the way I feel about life. You know, it's a different place now. Depression was the norm for me. Was the norm for me. That was how I lived. I was depressed for years. You know, I had low self-confidence for years. I didn't love myself for years, and now that has changed. A lot in my life has changed. But those two things, I really did have to get rid of them because they were holding me down. They were keeping me back. They were sucking away my energy. So that's my video on porn and masturbation. So let me know what's your experience with porn and masturbation. Do you still watch them? Do you still love them? Do you think that if there's anybody out there that think that those things are adding, good things to their life, I'm sure it might. It's possible. Like I said, I'm talking about my experience and why I had to let them go personally. And I'm glad that I did. And yeah. So if you like this video, hit the like button below. Subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one if you have not already. And I will see you guys on the next one. And don't forget to hit the bell to be notified for more videos. And if you have any topics that you want me to talk about, that you want to hear my thoughts on, let me know in the comment section below. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.